So if you told me that one day I'd have $10,000 sitting in a bank account with my name on it and no strings attached to it, I would laugh at you because for the longest time, my life was designed like this. Get paid, party, stress, overdraft, then repeat. So in today's video, I want to tell you how I saved my first $10,000 using minimalist budgeting. Not by becoming a financial expert or by cutting out all the fun out of my life, but by simplifying the way I handle money so it finally started working for me. Let's get into it. When this all started, I was in my mid-20s, living in a small apartment that looked way better on Instagram than it did in real life. So check this out, right? I had a decent job, nothing crazy. And I remember feeling like I was doing everything right. I was paying my bills. It's not like I was buying luxury bags or anything, or even leasing Teslas. So on paper, I was responsible. But somehow, every month ended up the same way. How is it that my bank account is already so close to zero? And it's crazy because when my paycheck hit, I feel rich for like 3 days. I take out money for rent, subscriptions, a few nights out, and even some deliveries. But when you really look at it, I didn't have money saved. I was all about the vibe. The clearest memory I have of my starting point is standing in line at the grocery store, watching the total climb on the screen, and feeling extremely nervous that my card might get declined for a $67 grocery run. I wasn't really broke or anything. Heck, I wasn't even irresponsible. But I had absolutely no safety net. If anything big happened, like I lost my job or a medical emergency, I was done for. So at this point, my panic turned into a specific thought. I needed at least $10,000 saved. And I picked that number for a few good reasons because if I had $10,000 right now, I could pretty much stay out of work for a few months. I could really take care of all my emergencies. For example, I could literally buy myself a one-way ticket out of any situation I had right now. So as of right now, that number felt pretty good and pretty safe, but at the same time, it wasn't huge enough that it felt impossible. More than the number itself, I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted not to feel sick when I opened my bank account. I wanted not to rely on my next paycheck to survive. Most of all, I wanted options. I wanted to be able to say no to things and people from a place of security instead of fear. So the desire wasn't just that I wanted $10,000. It was that I wanted proof that I can trust myself with money. But of course, wanting it and getting it were two different things. My first attempt was a total failure because I did what a lot of people do. I went straight into budgeting bootcamp mode. I made this super detailed budget with like 14 categories, color coding. I made sure it looked gorgeous. And then life happened. By the end of the week, I was overspending on groceries and underspending on something else. And I remember a friend of mine had asked me to go out. I didn't want to be the broke one, so I went. But that night, I was trying everything in my power to make sure that I wasn't overspending on anything. But of course, just like most of these budgeting tactics, they never actually matches your life. And because I couldn't stick to it perfectly, I just stopped opening it. And let's not forget about lifestyle creep while we at it, right? When I got a small raise, I did not magically save more. I magically upgrade everything by 10%. Nicer food, newer clothes, and more Ubers instead of public transportations. Nothing out of the ordinary, just these small changes that completely ate that extra income. Now, if we add everything up, the unrealistic budgeting, the lifestyle creep, no matter how many times I said, this year is the year I get serious, my saving account stayed exactly how it was last year. So obviously, I was fed up. And this is where the turning point for me started to happen. I got tired of my own drama and decided that I needed something way simpler, like really simple. I remember literally thinking to myself, what exactly am I doing wrong? Why does it feel like I'm never improving? And this is where minimalist budgeting came into play. I stopped trying to control everything and started bringing down my money system to a few basic moves that I could actually stick to. The first change I made was switching from detailed budgeting to basic budgeting. Instead of micromanaging 14 categories, I gave myself just a few. Fixed bills, essentials like food and transportations, fun and saving, and that was it. I wasn't trying to track every subcategories anymore. I just wanted to make sure that the total stayed in check. Then I flipped the order of operation. Before, when I used to get paid, I spent money and then use what's left over to save. Now, I decided that the future me would get paid first. So whenever I got paid, the first thing I did was move a good amount of money straight into my saving account. The next thing I did was attack my fixed costs. I sat down and made a monthly list of everything that hit my account. And it was honestly embarrassing. Subscriptions I had forgotten about, membership I didn't use, tiny charges that weren't tiny altogether. I canceled every single last one of them. Anything that wasn't generally adding value was gone. All right, so guys, before we continue with this video, I just want to make something very clear. Was any of this fun? Absolutely not. But I just want to mention this right now, like in terms of the gym membership, especially if I want to focus on the fixed cost, my gym membership was around $45. So now it's only $20 because I go to the gym like 3-4 times a week. So I wasn't really sure why I had like a gold package. The $20 basic was pretty good for me. Subscriptions is no longer $45. Not sure why I have a $45 subscription package. It's actually $20 now. And as for streamings, it's also not $60. Once I digged around, I realized I had so much streaming services and I wasn't sure why, but streaming is $10 now. So gym membership, it was around $60 gold package, now it's $20. Subscriptions went from $45 to $20. Streamings went from $60 to $10. So we were able to decrease some of our fixed costs. It's not all of it, but most of the important ones. I just jogged them down for you. So let's get back to the video. I also started giving myself free gifts for fun every month. I did that without feeling guilty about it because minimalist budgeting for me didn't mean I never get to spend on enjoying myself. It meant deciding ahead of time how much fun money I had so I could enjoy it without anxiety. So if I wanted coffee, takeout, or random little treat, it came out from that pot. And once it was gone, that was it because I was not about to spend anything past that. So at the end of the day, results didn't show up overnight, obviously. The first month of trying this whole minimalist setup, I ended up with a few $100s more in my saving account than usual. That was it. The second month, something similar, another few $100s. And I remember a surprise expense popped up for the first time. I didn't have to put it on a credit card. That moment alone made me realize how important it was to have a buffer. I now understand what people mean when they say emergency fund. But there were months where I also saved less. There was one month I basically just maintained because a few things went wrong. The old version of me would have taken that as a sign that the system wasn't working and burned it all down to the ground. But minimalist budgeting me wanted to keep trying month after month. But what really shocked me was how fast everything changed. After maybe 3 or 4 months of consistently paying myself first, keeping my fixed costs low, and pausing on impulse spend, I stopped feeling that weird sensation around money. I started feeling neutral or even more confident. So at around the 15th to 18th month mark, I checked my saving account and it was sitting at the 5-figure range for the first time in my life. It was a little insane because I had been watching it grow slowly. And the cool part is, the money was obviously great, but the biggest result wasn't just the $10,000, it was the person I had become while getting there. I went from avoiding my big app to checking it like it was weather. I went from impulse spending to thinking about any major purchases to see if it fit any of my plan. So the $10,000 gave me options. I could handle emergencies without panicking. I could take a risk on a new project without anxiety. I could say no to things that didn't feel right, not because I was broke, but because I had a buffer and a plan. Now, if you're watching this and you're at the phase where you're standing in the grocery line, hoping your cart goes through, I promise you, you don't need a perfect budget or a huge income to change your situation. You just need a clear starting point, a simple system, and enough patience to let the boring habit do their things. So thank you guys for watching today's video. If you gained any value from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and push the notification bell for more on sustainable fashion, personal finance, and minimalism. I'll see you guys on my next video.